Thank you very much. Tony Daniels, followed by Nadia Asghar. Morning.
Morning. If they can hold the time, I'd be much appreciated. They need a list, and they need a system, a chronological, a time system on when you speak here. When you sign up, that's when you speak. So they need a format, they need a procedure and how that's done. Mentesnot, Tampa, Florida. You know, I was over on Twig Street yesterday, had a problem with the security and the sheriff's department. And entering the building, they want to ask you where you're going and all this, ain't none of their business, and then they try to harass you when you don't tell them. Anyway, one of the gentlemen came up there and he told me, I told him, I said, hey, this is a race thing. He told me, well, first let me let you know that I'm mixed. That's what he said, I'm mixed. I say, man, I don't give a F about that. My mother's white, and I don't care nothing about that nasty hoe. Plain and simple. Yeah. So you can throw all that in the phrase. I hear somebody say Tony Daniel. You don't see Tony Daniel nowhere in that card. That's the problem Muhammad Ali faced. You don't see Tony Daniel nowhere in that speaker's card. But it's a level of disrespect. I still hope they hold in my time. It's a level of disrespect. Disrespect for African people. White folks call us what they want to call us. Boy, slave, jigaboo, Aunt Jemima, Uncle Tom, Step and Fetch It, Black Sambo, name it. They got a name for us. Convicted felon, criminal, all those kind of names. But what I'm here to talk about is child support. I want to say it's a eugenics program. And what else I'm here to talk about is any person in this city, vote for Bob Buckhorn. Any person, not just any black person. I don't tell anybody who to vote for, but I tell you who not to vote for. I tell you who not to vote for. Jane Castor, Bob Buckhorn, Pama Ario, Sandy Freeman, Bob Martinez, Dick Greco, a bunch of racist, nasty, stinking clowns. All this time, St. Pete got a black mayor. Sarasota had a black mayor. Plant City had a black mayor. Why can't Tampa, Florida have a black mayor? Why can't they get behind and support diversity? They always talk about MF and diversity. This woman right here is qualified to be the mayor. This woman right here is qualified to be the mayor.
Mr. Daniels.
This woman right here is qualified to be the mayor.
Mentesnot, Mentesnot, please come back to the
podium.
podium.
4 African women are just pointed out in one room, and there's other people, Chloe Coney, other people you can call out, that worked hard and have hundreds of combined years in this city who can be the mayor. The woman sitting up there can be the mayor, but they won't support a black person. They won't support diversity. They just want us to support police programs and nonsense and beg and keep begging and begging. That's not the character or the intensity or the intention of the African. And man, call me by my name that you see on that card, or else I'm gonna call you by your name.
Speaker is Surjit Das, followed by Victor DeMaio, and that'll end our in-person speakers, and then we'll move on to our online speakers.
Hey, first line of business is Chagret, Doss. I don't know why we're having a problem when we know I'm litigating against the city. That's one for everybody so we can eliminate this, I guess, this fake ruse of you all not understanding. But I want to get to a couple of points. Look at the highlight. You see Chagret, Doss, Chandra Tucker, the case number. It's called the stipulation of the parties. And I know we got a couple of attorneys in the room. I need y'all to pay attention. Couple of attorneys right here, Mike Rowe, just despicable
It's
white
upside
man.
down.
Say again?
Spin it around. It's upside down. How it presents.
Okay, there you go. Mike Rowe, Steve Leon, I don't know how involved he is. Judge Peacock was the presiding judge, Emily Peacock, another despicable person, and I'll get to her in a little while, ordering me to sign this stipulation of the party. And, you know, we all remember when she told me that a black man can't argue with a white man inside of her courtroom. And I asked her to disqualify herself, but she wouldn't do that because that's just who she is. Here's the release that they made me sign under contempt. I highlighted the parts. You all can see it. You all have age for these reasons. And right here, even on here, it says, you voluntarily signed this agreement.
It's still, that's upside down.
Oh, upside down again. My fault again. voluntarily signed the agreement. And I signed it under duress right here. And every one of these attorneys I'm getting ready to go over, and I'm normally calibrated, but I can't be that way. Y'all love soft-stepping Negroes around here. I just ain't that guy. I didn't even run my routes soft-stepping. But the shirt is, and I know I can't say it's about all white folks, but I need some of y'all white people up here to get some control of these crackers running amok across the town over there. I'm talking about the city government, state government. Bob Buckhorn's running for mayor again. He already got $1 million worth of my damn houses. We need some of you all that are elected officials to just do your damn job. I don't need you to do nothing special for me. I never asked y'all for nothing. By the way, I am a veteran and honorably discharged and disabled. But the bottom line is I'm talking about Judge Emily Peacock. Should never hear a case. I'm talking about Paul Huey. Never should hear a case from me because they work with Gregory Holder, the lying white boy who told Michael Victor, who still works for y'all, to falsely accuse me of perjury. Of course, I whipped their ass in court. And we're dealing with this in the 11th Circuit, and I'm sure we're going to get the kind of outcome that we need. The bottom line to this is, even in that Bible that some of y'all love to thump for so often, we hear, if you go to Luke, I think it's chapter 11, Rev, if you're in here, it said, woe unto the lawyers, for they lay men with burdens grievous to be borne, and touch the burdens with not one of their fingers. I've heard that we don't have lawyers who will stand up for the people. But in that same series of statements, it says, woe unto the lawyers, for they take away the key of knowledge, and they enter in not in themselves, and for those that try to enter, they hinder. I'm going to show y'all that ain't true. Shout out to the University of Thomas Jefferson High School.
Thank you very much.